pleasantly surprised. Sean Ward has been great. The burst that we saw on tape and the activeness off the edge and pass rush and blitzing has been very, very good. He definitely has that. Stronger than I thought he was going to be. He was here with us a bunch this summer, then he had some stuff at the end of summer that he left us for a week or two. I was worried about him coming back in shape. He's a little bit overweight, but he's kept his burst. Coach Kennedy, the work that they had done was really good. Brandon Alexander is extremely very athletic, as we saw on tape. Very new to him because he wasn't here this summer, so he's behind a little bit mentally. But he's a physical kid. He can do some things. Tyrell Taylor is really of the bunch, the most surprising. I thought he was going to be further away than he is. He's pretty good in pass rush and uses his hands pretty good. He just doesn't know. He doesn't know anything. We're pretty complex, and he's just learning, so he's a little behind there.
With Ward, do you have a number on him in terms of what weight you'd like to be or how much you'd like for him to lose in August?
I'd love to see him be in the low 240s. I'd like to see him about 240, 242. He's about 246, 248 right now. That's a big man running that good, so that's where I want him.
Does Taylor have enough weight to play this year, or is he going to need a redshirt a year?
I haven't even talked the word redshirt with him. We're going to play the best football players, and if it's 10 snaps a game rushing the passer, there's guys that are 199 pounds that can do that. Especially in our league, we see a whole bunch of that 4 wide stuff and 5 wide stuff. So he's just got to work an edge and beat a running back and sometimes beat the edge of that tackle. So I'm not worried about his weight as much. The strength is the biggest thing. You can pass rush on a tackle, but when that tackle puts his hands on you, you got to be strong enough to do something. And we're still figuring out if he's got that. And we've got time too, right? And this thing lasts for us until January. So he doesn't have to be there today. He's got some time, so we haven't made any decisions on that.
How impressed have you been with Sean Porter? Just the whole offseason, it seems like he's become a man physically, and he always has been mentally.
Sean Porter is phenomenal. He's a leader for us. He's got an edge about him. When you guys talk to him, I'm sure you see it. I like guys that don't smile a lot when they're on that football field. He doesn't smile. He leads. He goes and plays.
What is the thing that impresses you most about Caleb Russell?
His consistency. Every day he just works. There is not a day that he hasn't worked since I've been here. I can't say that about anybody else I've coached while I've been here. Even Sean Porter, as good as he is, he's had bad days. Caleb Russell hasn't had a bad day. Every day he's out there, he does the same thing.
What does that say about his character?
It's a phenomenal character. And I think that's our team though right now. Our team's got great character. For offensive guys, and you look at those offensive linemen, they're over there working their butt off, and they knock a defensive guy down. They're the first one lifting him up off the ground. When you got punks on your team, you got guys that aren't great kids. They're talking to them. They're not exactly treating them like their teammate. So they're competing their butt off, and everyone's going nose to nose. But these guys are out there about each other. It's pretty impressive.
Do you think the competition could help a guy like DeMontre more?
Yeah, absolutely. Competition's the best thing that DeMontre needs. He's a special football player. To have other guys pushing him, that's a good thing.
Are you seeing him taking steps mentally and on the field, off the field?
Yeah, I'm stressing him as much as anybody. He only played Joker really last year. He only played the boundary spot. And as our defense progresses and those guys are in different spots this year, Jokers are playing Sam and Sams are playing Jokers, they have to learn a little bit more. So he's being pushed to the limit right now with what he can do.
Can you talk about just guys moving over and how much grasping the concept is going to be important to you?
Sure. We teach both the Joker and the Sam how to play both sides. That way you can always get your best football player on the field. You have a depth chart at Sam. If your number 1 Sam goes down, you don't want to have to play the number 2 Sam if he's not the best guy. So we're doing that, and with that, the learning curve is much slower because they're learning twice as much information if they're learning both positions. So instead of seeing a Sam get great right away, you're seeing a Sam that's not getting as good right away because he's got to learn Joker. Now in the long run, we're going to be a much better football team for it. He's going to be a much better player because he's going to learn how to pass rush. He's going to learn how to play the run over a tight end. He's also going to learn how to drop. He's doing it all at one time, which we haven't always done. It's one thing that the NFL game does. Pittsburgh Steelers play a left linebacker and a right outside linebacker, and so they double teach him. So you can't get schemed because you have a good guy on the left, you have a good guy on the right. They can all do the same things. That's going to help us. That's going to help us in the long run.
Anything else for Coach Toth?
That is a decision you guys made when Vaughn was gone, right? I mean, just moving around, be more multiple.
Yeah, we did. We wanted to move Vaughn around, but the time frame we had was much shorter. We got here, we were going to get Vaughn. We only had a couple months with him, so I didn't want to mess with him too much. I taught him how to drop a little bit, but the sucker could come off an edge. So we didn't put as much on those guys. And now that we're in year 2 and really looking to year 3, 4, and 5, and where this thing develops. Just want to make sure that we're approaching it the right way and keep it a good picture, not being short-term with these guys. I'm about coaching these guys for 4 and 5 years while they're here. I don't want to be like I had to be with Vaughn about 6 months.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, great.